I'll share my screen again. Shri Guru Charana Padma. Charana means feet and Padma means lotus feet. And Guru is addressed here as Shri Guru. The word Shri in general refers to Goddess Lakshmi. We are having the Navaratri coming up very soon, from tomorrow or so onwards. And in different sampradayas, it's celebrated differently. Some worship Goddess Durga, some worship Goddess Lakshmi. So all the different energies of the Supreme Lord actually manifest from Srimati Radharani. So, but that will come to on a later day. So the word Shri can mean Goddess Lakshmi. It can also mean opulence. The lotus feet of the spiritual master and one should approach the lotus feet of the spiritual master who is bestowed with opulence. What is the opulence that the spiritual master is bestowed with? He is bestowed with the opulence of service to the Supreme Lord. In this world, we think of opulence in terms of bank balance. We think in terms of a lot of wealth and jewels, so many shares in a company, and so many buildings, and so many big cars, etc. But the opulence that is in the possession of the Sri Guru is that of service to the Supreme Lord. And he renders service to the Supreme Lord through the medium of the previous acharyas. And this is also something by which we have to know carefully when we are interacting with a potential spiritual master. Why? In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is said there are certain disqualifications for a spiritual master. I will go through some of them during the course of our sessions here. Some of the disqualification of the spiritual master is somebody, if you go through the last one, the last 8th and the 9th one who desires service and wealth from his disciple. He is not fit for it. Why? Because the Shri that is being mentioned in this verse actually means he is desirous of the connection to the absolute. He is not desirous of wealth for himself. And if the other aspect here is a person who is greedy to collect but does not give in charity, such a person is also not a proper candidate to be a spiritual master. I'd like to illustrate this with the life of Srila Prabhupada and that of his disciples. Srila Prabhupada left India at the age of 65 and 70, I'm sorry. So for 10 years or 12 years or so, in 1965 that he left, till 1977, he was constantly traveling. Between almost 1955 to 1965, there was no steady income for him as such. He wanted to publish the scriptures based on the order of a spiritual master. He would translate the books sitting in Vrindavan. He would go to Delhi and then go to the publisher to publish it. And the publisher said, you need to give me money for printing these. After you give me the money, then I can start printing. And Srila Prabhupada, somehow by mercy of Krishna, arranged for him that let him publish and then he would sell it and then he would give the money to the publisher. So how did Srila Prabhupada sell it? He did not even have any person to do that. He would personally go door by door, sometimes on the streets, and sell the books. And that would just cover the printing cost. He struggled all of this just because that Shri, the opulence of service, was there with him. He was not thinking whether I have money, whether I'm going to use my foot or not, whether I'm going to have comforts or not. None of those. He was only happy that I have received a service from my spiritual master and I want to live with him. Like many times you see that people live in memory of their parents by doing what their parents wanted them to do. That is how a disciple also lives with his guru. And so after doing this for 10 years, when he went to the US, Krishna had different plans for him. Many disciples came, they expanded his movement, they built big temples. But Srila Prabhupada would never, typically, he would not stay for more than 3 days, 4 days in a temple. And he never felt that this is my property. He would always caution his disciples, saying, this property doesn't belong to you, it belongs.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Not audible.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, power is gone, Prabhu. That is the reason, I think.
Oh,
But he is still there. I think.
That will be there, but he may not be connected.
Okay, I think he will come soon. Let me call him.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I am sorry, I had an internet problem. I'll continue here. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. We lost 20 seconds from you.
Yes, I get it. So I may not be having the screen with me for a little while because I still have internet issues. But my voice is clear, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So the point I was trying to make before we had the internet issue, there was a picture on the left, and that was Srila Prabhupada walking in the streets of Moscow all alone. He didn't have too many disciples over there. He just went with a couple of his disciples. And as he was walking, just a minute. You're able to hear me now too?
Yes, Prabhu.
yes, Prabhu.
So, yeah, just a minute. Let me begin sharing my screen again. And you're able to see the screen too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes,
now
Yes,
it's
Prabhu.
Okay.
yeah. Please unmute Prabhu yourself.
Yeah. As Srila Prabhupada was walking in Moscow, he was all alone and he was not thinking, who is going to be there with me? How can I increase my wealth? Nothing like that. His disciples built magnificent temples, but yet he was going alone in Moscow, yearning to see one soul who would take the message of Godhead back. Why? Because as we discussed in this previous verse here, Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. The Shri Guru only wants to give Kevala Bhakti. What is Kevala Bhakti? Kevala Bhakti is not having jnana and karma. That is, wanting to have jnana means enjoy philosophical speculation, and karma, wanting to get the results of one's activities. So the guru is not the person who wants to experience that I put so much effort and therefore I need this, the result of this effort. You're still able to see the screen here, Prabhu?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Okay. That's one aspect of the Sri Guru Charana Padma of what happened. Then I'd like to explain one other thing of Srila Prabhupada here. After years of being in the West, Srila Prabhupada came back to India and he met a disciple, a person who became his disciple. After becoming his disciple, he was called as Gaur Govinda Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada told His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj, I want to come to Bhubaneswar, where you are. And Gaur Govind Maharaj said, you have built wonderful temple in Vrindavan. You are building something nice in Mayapur, in West Bengal. But I have just become your disciple. I have just a thatched hut in Bhubaneswar. And all I have there is a small place. And that too, in that small place, sometimes rats come in and go. I don't have anything proper to serve you. Srila Prabhupada said, I need your sincerity. That's all that I need. And I'm okay to stay wherever and however it is. So Srila Prabhupada, he was very sick at that point in time, and yet he went to Bhubaneswar to give his association to Gaur Govind Maharaj in a thatched hut. So this it's very important. And the reason I'm saying this is, one day, each of you may become a disciple, and in your own way, you may also become a guru. An important aspect when we deal with others is we should not be desiring service and wealth from others. So as much as these elements are of this 9 bullet points are applicable to a guru, it is applicable even to an aspiring disciple. That our interaction with others is not to gain material wealth from them or to show off that, hey, I have so many people working for me. No, that is not our objective. Our only objective is what can I give to them and how I can connect others in the service of Guru and Krishna. So with that mood, we walk not just with our close relatives and other devotees, but also with everybody whom we meet, as in our office, in the market, everybody, everywhere else. When we do that, our life becomes transformed. That I am here as a medium to receive service from the Supreme Lord and distribute service of the Supreme Lord to everybody. And that service to the Supreme Lord begins with the chanting of the holy name, which you all have started, and especially some of you chanted from 6 to 6:30 today. For those of you who couldn't do it, please do chant a few rounds today so that it gives you the empowerment to be in service to the Supreme Lord. That chanting is a call for service to Radha and Krishna. And we call out in service, we call out that crying way in a crying way to Srimati Radharani, because she is the embodiment of all compassion. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Really true. Can you end the meeting? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೇನು ಮಾಡಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು எப்படி
I didn't understand it much. The spiritual master does give service to others.
not for himself.
Correct. That is admirable.
Hmm. ஒரே நிமிஷம் ஏதோ ஒரு நிமிஷம் இங்க பார்த்து விடுறேன்.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಓಕೆ Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. you.